Okay, so on Sunday, we're at the park playing with the kids, and we're playing kickball, and I was running, trying to make the base like you do during kickball, and I actually hurt my knee real bad. Something popped, and then it also had like a shearing feel to it, and then another pop. So it's been bothering me ever since, extremely bad, and I've been doing like massage work on it, tissue work all around the knee. Took anti-inflammatory, and then because my knee swelled up really bad and I could barely even bend it, I got the inflammation out to the anti-inflammatories, and by moving it and just trying to get the knee flexion back. But now whenever I bend over and I have more of a straight leg, whenever I bend over, I actually end up getting like a sharp pain shoot through the back of the knee, from the hip to the back of the knee. I don't know if it's my sciatica or if it's a nerve in the knee area, or if it's because the way I've been walking and my hip is now like aggravated. So I'm experiencing some type of shooting pain. So we're going to go ahead and go to the chiropractor today, and I'm going to see if it is inside of my hip and get adjusted. If it is my hip, then this will let me know like, oh, well, my shooting pain is because of the way that I was walking to compensate for my hip hurting, well, for my knee hurting, because I kind of been walking with a limp. If it's not originating from that, that means that it's definitely coming from the hip. But what I found out most of all was most of my pain is coming from the tibialis muscle in front of the shin. And I've been massaging and working on that, and that's actually been alleviating a lot of my issues and pain. But again, I'm still limping, I'm still walking with like an issue. So we'll try the chiropractor first, see how this goes, and then if this alleviates a lot of my issues, then I'll come again later this evening and get adjusted again and go from there. So let's go to the chiropractor and see what they can do to help my hip out. Like I said, I've been working on it to get full flexion back in it. So
yeah, normal knee is 135 degrees flexion, and you should touch your glute, but you got about 115, 120 thereabout.
Yeah.
Don't push it though. Let me check it real quick and make sure. ACL and PCL are good. These collaterals are here. Does it bother you to do that?
no, that's fine. But when you picked up the hill up higher, that's when I got the pain in the back of the knee, like right there. That's where it shoots from my knee.
You strain the hamstring. One of the biceps femoris is the biggest in the middle of the bone, and then the semimembranosus and tendinosus. So when I pick it up right there and strain it, it's pulling on it. Don't really have the sciatic nerve runs through there. It only comes the sciatic nerve from here to there.
Okay.
But it gets its contribution from L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, S1. So it comes to the glute. So you're recruiting. We hope it's not a concomitant injury here and here. It looks like you maybe just compensate.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've been limping.
Have you ever had hip problems before?
No.
That you know of?
No.
What do you do for a living?
I work industrial. I repair like torquing equipment and hydraulics and stuff.
Deep breath and blow it out. I'll lift your head toward me. All right, I'm going to move the opposite side first with the pelvis to move. Turn on this side and come this way. You can ice. The knee could stand a little icing, and then you move up into your glute. Ice that too. Ice is good. Vasoconstrictor.
Okay, so I got my hip adjusted from the chiropractor. This guy was actually retired, and he was a coach and a trainer for a lot of athletes, and he's doing this for 40 years. And he actually was retired, came out of retirement because he got bored to get back into it. So from him moving my knee and feeling the way it moved and the flexion on it, he was saying to him it doesn't feel like I tore the ACL or anything in the knee. Now he says, I can't see inside the knee, but judging from your range of motion and the feel of your knee, he's like, I don't think you damaged anything major. You might have torn your meniscus, but you won't know without imaging. But from what I can tell, I think you'll make recovery, and you should be feeling better in a couple of days. And I just think that you actually tore your hamstring. Well, not tore your hamstring, but strained and pulled your hamstring. And whenever you strained your hamstring and pulled, it actually pulled on the knee, and it caused your knee to pop, and that's what you felt in your knee. And he says, I don't think your pain's coming from your knee. I think it's coming from the hamstring, and that's where your issue is. So after he adjusted my hips, hip and my knee actually does feel a lot better. I'm walking better, I'm walking easier, the pain is way less, and I don't have any type of lingering sharp pain in my hip. I'm feeling it in the back of my leg now, in the back of my knee. So I'm actually going to go home and do some deep tissue work and see if I can't get that muscle to relax and loosen up and start getting it worked on. Because if my issue is a hamstring, I'm going to start going at the hamstring and trying to get that to loosen up and relax. Now I know that my hamstring has that pain shooting from the knee up to the hip, so it's hard to say what it could be or what it actually is without imaging, but I'm going to work on it as if it's tissue damage and not joint damage, and I'm going to see how it goes in a couple of days, because I got the inflammation down already and I'm able to walk on it. Now it's just a matter of getting 100% of my flexion back in my knee and being able to stretch the knee all the way into full extension without having any pain in the leg. So we're going to get some deep tissue on and see what that does for me later this day. And obviously this isn't going to be a one-day fix. It's going to take a couple of days. And what sucks about this is I was supposed to be bulking starting next week, and I was going to start working on increasing my loads in the gym and everything else and trying to put some size on, but I might have to just do a little bit of maintenance for the next couple of weeks on my legs and just focus more on my upper body for size and just let my lower body have a couple weeks to recover from this. Because, you know, being a dad and wanting to play with my kids and wanting to get out there and play kickball, it ended up kicking me in the rear and I hurt my knee real bad. But you know, I want to be a dad too. I can't just not be a dad, but at the same time, it's just like maybe I can't do stuff like that like I used to. So, but let's get in the gym and let's see what I can do with this tissue work. So, after getting in the gym and doing some tissue work, I believe the chiropractor was correct, because I actually had quite a few areas in my hamstring that hurt me real bad rolling it out. Now, I've been focusing on getting the inflammation out of the knee and getting full flexion back in the knee to be able to bend the knee 100% without having pain in it. And then I also noticed there was a lot of pain on the tibialis, on the muscle in front of the shin, that was causing issue with my knee whenever I tried bending it. So that's where I spent majority of my time trying to relax, loosen up, and massage. And I didn't even dawn, like, you know what, maybe it is coming from the hamstring, because I never felt nothing in my hamstring besides a slight pull, which turned into a sharp pain. And I figured that was from walking weird, from limping. But after going there and him telling me that I more than likely pulled the hamstring and that's what caused the knee to pop, and I took the deep tissue, I took the bar and did some deep tissue, there were several spots in my hamstring that hurt incredibly bad that I didn't even realize were in there. But that's the funny thing about tissue work. And like I've been saying this whole time, like, a lot of the times where you're feeling the pain isn't where the pain's coming from. So now, granted, I had a pop and then a shearing and then a pop in my knee. So it was pretty clear that my knee was the issue and that's where my pain was. But the thought process behind, like, well, maybe my hamstring pulled and got strained and that's what pulled on the knee and popped the knee, that wasn't even in the front of my mind, because all the issue was coming from my knee. So this is one of those things, going to somebody who knows more than you, that has more experience. Like, this guy's been doing it for 40 years, training athletes and being a coach and being a physical therapist and a chiropractor, that he was able to help me kind of like pinpoint and narrow down possibly where the issue was, which seems like in this case it is going to be the hamstring. Because after doing this tissue work, I can tell you I'm walking around without a limp, and I have so much relief in my knee and in my leg in general. My hip feels better from getting it adjusted, and then my knee feels better from getting it adjusted and then doing the tissue work. Now, I got relief out of the knee. Well, I got relief out of the hip from going to the chiropractor, but I got relief on the knee whenever I did the tissue work on my hamstring. So I think the majority of the problem is going to be the hamstring. So I'm going to wait until Friday, and I'm going to do more tissue work on Friday with a bar. I'm not going to do more today or even tomorrow, because I don't want to push too much and go backwards or end up causing a delayed effect of recovery. So I'm going to take it easy the rest of the day and try to stay off of my leg and let it heal up. And then come Friday, I'm going to do more tissue work and see where I'm at, because maybe next week I'll be able to start working my legs out very lightly, doing a full range of motion without pain, and be able to get my knee recovered up 100% or get my hamstring recovered, whichever it may be, whatever the latter falls. Because at this given point in time, I'm supposed to be bulking up and putting on size for the next 5 months to try to get ready to cut down for a show. So, you know, life has a funny way of throwing you curveballs and giving you surprises, because not all surprises are good surprises. Some surprises are bad surprises, like this one. Like, surprise, now your knee hurts and you possibly strained your hamstring. So, but I'm not going to let it get me discouraged. I'm not going to let it, you know, ruin my motivation for what I want. I'm just going to figure out how to go about fixing this the fastest way possible to get back to training at my full potential, so that way I can compete in bodybuilding. And like I've said this whole time, like, I know it's a recurring theme, but I'm brittle. You know, I get it. I'm genetically prone to get injured. Like, I don't know why my genetics are like this, but some guys can push it full throttle every day and not have an issue at all. Then there's other guys out there that, you know, they're somewhere in the middle. And then there's the guys out there that, like Mr. Glass, like, if you do one thing wrong, you're down for 3 weeks. And I'm that guy. Like, if I step wrong or twist wrong or move wrong, a lot of the times, like, I can injure myself. Just like, for instance, running, playing kickball with my kids and tore my hamstring or strained it, or however you want to say it. So, unfortunate, you know, it's just one of those things, and that's just the cards I was dealt with. But I'm not going to let it hold me back. I'm going to recover from this. I'm going to heal up, and I'm going to get back to full swing of things and just continue to push forward with my goals, because every day I wake up is an opportunity for me to get better and to push forward to get closer to my goals. So I try not to focus on the negative, and I try not to focus on the things that aren't going my way. I try to focus on the things that are going my way, and the things that are making me better, and the things that I can work on controlling the variables. It's always about controlling the variables to me. And if I can control the variables and I can focus on the things that I can do, like, I can at least train my upper body and possibly my quads. I'm not going to push my knee except for maybe leg extensions and leg curls, but I can train my upper body, and I can train areas that are lagging if I can't train my legs until my knee heals up good enough. So, but that's going to be it for this video, guys. I appreciate you all watching, and till next time.